Hey there, Storm fans. Bryant Cook, and today we are playing Lurrus Lotus Breach post Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, which means that today we are playing in Otawara, the Soaring City, a legendary land that taps for a blue mana that has channel for 3 and a blue. Discard this card from your hand, put this ability on the stack. You are not casting a spell. This cannot be countered. And then its effect is return target artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker to its owner's hand, not opponent. I'd like to point that out. You can even mount your own stuff, like your own Underworld Breach against an opposing Beseiju. And then this ability costs 1 less for each legendary creature you control. In theory, it could cost 3 due to us having a companion being Lurrus. So you could, in theory, not play the main deck Echoing Truth and then just have Otawara. But we are an Otherworldly Gaze deck, which means if you ever mill Otawara, you don't have an answer left in your main deck, which is a little bit dicey. But it could be correct in the future to just not play the Echoing Truth and just run Otawara. But today I'm running it over a fetch land, and I went down a land. So today I'm playing 20 lands and Otawara. You could play 21 in Otawara, but I wanted to fit everything I wanted to play today. I've been enjoying 2 Force and Negation in the main deck and 2 in the board. Sort of a nice split. You can board it out in, you know, non-combo matchups, but against combo decks you really want them, while creating sideboard space for our new Empty the Warrens plan. So playing this deck recently, I've been losing a lot to Death Shadow and Jund, and Empty the Warrens has been a card that sort of turned that around for me. A lot of those decks aren't playing Engineered Explosives anymore, definitely not Death Shadow. If you look at the recent list, they're pretty weak to Empty, and Empty is a card that I think makes a whole lot of sense. So we're trying this out today. Yeah. That's really the gist of it. I just want to see how good Empty is out of the board. The big thing for me is that it doesn't turn off Lurrus. Before we were playing multiple Ave, but Ave can be difficult to make work sometimes, and Twiddle it works really nicely with Empty. So we're going to see, you know, what we can do here. You don't even need Lotus Field some games, so if you can just twiddle your own lands over and over into an Empty. Just throwing that out there. Thanks for watching, I guess. I'll see you in match number 1, and let me know how you enjoyed the video today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm Fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for sideboard help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 sideboard guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the play, and this hand has everything we need other than a second land to sacrifice to Lotus Field. If I could trade this Lotus Field for a regular land, this hand would be next to perfect. We're going to try this and just hope that this Mishra's Bauble finds land number 2. Our opponent takes a mulligan all the way down to 5 cards. Okay, so we're going to lead off on Misty and Bobble here. And we're going to bobble ourselves in our main phase, because if we don't find a land, we're going to shuffle. And then if you draw something like Consider or Otherworldly Gaze, you can cast that on their end step. All right, bobble ourselves. Perfect. And pass the turn. And now we draw that land we want. Marsh Flats. Okay. And they're passing. We'll go and sacrifice this for a Watery Grave. Draw. Echoing Truth. Alright. As of right now, we don't have quite enough cards to win on our turn in our graveyard, but that could change. This might be like Esper Reanimator. Yeah, it's looking a lot like Esper Reanimator. Grief. Yep. Unfortunately, that resolves. So they get a copy of probably Underworld Breach. We're going to bounce this Grief in response to the Ephemerate. We can't allow that. That's what you get for showing your hand too early. You should have let the discard trigger resolve. They do have a Grief back in their hand, so they could play another Grief this turn. And they chose not to. Bobble. And we're just going to let her lands die here and pass the turn. In their upkeep, let's look at their top card. Concealed Courtyard. Okay, not a black card, so I like that. 3 cards still in our opponent's hand. Teferi. So they have Grief and 1 Unknown. If we draw a land, we have a win. Draw. That will do. Alright, so now we just have to go through the motions, I believe. Let's grab the island. So I believe 10 cards does it. I hope I'm not wrong. So we're going to untap this Lotus Field. Add 3 red. Play Wish. And then get Underworld Breach. And now we Dream Script. Untapping the Lotus Field. Dream Script again. Okay. And now we can play Wish. Using all the red. And then escape these last 3. And then just Tome Scour our way to victory. Scour turning us. Alright, so we just have to go through it at this point. Bear with me. Dream Script untapping the Lotus Field. And now we Tome Scour. Let's exile the Wish. It doesn't hurt anything. Storm number 9. So unfortunately, when you start on this few resources, you do have to end up milling most of your deck, just because you're not going to have enough to Wish into Grapeshot otherwise. It's just so card intensive, I guess is the word I want to use here, to get to the point where you can actually win the game. Alright, Scour. It's from 12. And you'll notice we barely have any cards in our graveyard, because each 3-card loop only generates 1 card. We can remove a Wish here. Okay, Twiddle. It's from 14. Yes. So if I Twiddle here... So Twiddle would be from 15, Wish would be from 16, Grapeshot would be 17. I think I have exactly enough for that. Remove these 3. 1, 2, 3, and then Wish exiles those 3. Yeah, we have enough to win here. Okay. Yes, and then tap this for red. Wish. Escaping these three. Into Grapeshot. Shots. Woot woot. Game number 1 goes to the good guys. Esper Reanimator. We probably want the Force and Negation if I had to guess. Probably take out Bobble. Likely need the Void Snare. Maybe one other pact. I've experienced, and I could be wrong here, but I've faced some of these Esper Reanimator decks where they happen to have like Counterspell, so that's why I want the second Pact Negation. Alright, revealing the combo cat. This hand seems reasonable. Flooded Strand and pass the turn. And our draw step was Pact Negation, love it. We're just going to play Flooded Strand and pass here. On their end step, we will go get up Watery Grave, tap the Watery Grave, and cast Otherworldly Gaze, looking for Lotus Field. Hallowed Fountain, sure. There's the Watery Grave. Damping Sphere, well, that's going to get forced. Get that trash out of here. Why is that even in your deck? Come on. Are you mad at me? Did I say something? Watery Grave. And then Otherworldly Gaze. I think we just mill all three of these. Draw. Okay. Just going to play the Wishclaw Talisman here. Pass the turn. Land number 3 from our opponent, 5 cards in hand. To Fairy, so we're going to end up having to replay the Wishclaw. Yep. Draw. Twiddle. Alright. Claw pass. 6 cards in our opponent's hand. Another Damping Sphere. Not a nice person. Alright, we do have the Void Snare, but I would need to draw Lotus Field immediately. Well, how about that? Okay, so I can bounce the Damping Sphere. Go get Breach. Yeah, I mean, this seems like it works. Unstamping Sphere. They have multiple Damping Spheres, which is wild. Tap this one for red. I guess I didn't need to do that. That was kind of a dumb play. Yes. Untap. Go get Underworld Breach. And play the Breach. Okay, feeling pretty good about this now. Just have to go through the motions. We do still need the Tome Scour, but we have Wish in the graveyard, and our opponent's going to save us some time and concede. 1-0 with this new post-Kamigawa Neon Dynasty list featuring Otawara. We didn't get to use Otawara here, or the new sideboard empty plan, but there's still plenty of Magic left to be played. Stick around, hang out, enjoy the rest of it, and I'll see you in match number 2. If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. Let's get back to comboing out. Match number 2, and we are facing Modern Legend X-Whale, and I only know this because Alex McKinley never shuts up about their deck lists. X-Whale tends to play a lot of Hammer Time, so we're likely facing that. This Force Negation is not terrific here. I thought when I first looked at this hand that one of these Inquisitions was a Wishclaw, and I was like, yeah, that makes this a Snap Keep. Now I'm thinking this hand is too reactive and we should probably ship it. So we're going to go to 6 cards. And here we just need to find Lotus, and this hand's pretty good. I think we're going to keep in bottom the Otawara. And it's just a race, really. So Island past the turn. We're on their end step, we'll end up casting the Consider. Looks like a hammer, smells like a hammer. We're going to bin that. Okay. Need to find Lotus Field. Draw. Not Lotus Field. Past the turn. I faced this blue Hammer Time deck for the first time somewhat recently, and it sort of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting Spell Pierces out of the board, but I know about it now, so it's something that we can beat. I'd much rather face Spell Pierce than Thoughtseize. Plains into Pure Steel Paladin. Sure, I'm just going to go get my Watery Grave. Alright, we're going to take 1 going to 18. Need to find Lotus Field. I'm going to enter that tapped. Play Bobble. I'm actually going to pay for the Bobble here. Target them, why not? They have another Sentinel coming. And I want to draw now because our deck is full of instants now. We have Consider, we have Otherworldly Gaze. Those are cards I want to draw. I'm rewarded here, and now on their end step I can play Gaze, looking for that Lotus Field. I wonder if I'm supposed to respond now. I think I am. I'm giving them an opportunity to draw into Hammer with this trigger, but I'm not giving them 2 cards this time, so I think it's worth it. Alright, Otherworldly Gaze. You did not find me Lotus Field. We're just going to bin all of them. And there's a hammer. And they have Metalcraft, so I'm going to be bonked this turn. Ginger Brute? Sure. I guess I could have forced the hammer. I'll be honest, I was clicking too fast and I just missed it. But we still have a chance to win here. In my upkeep, I'm going to Otherworldly Gaze looking for the Lotus Field. And if I find it, we can still win. Okay, no. Gaze. 3 cards. Those are not what the doctor ordered. But if I find the field on this draw, we win. And not good enough. Alright, so we are going to the next game. They have 4 damage here, even if I tapped this Esper Sentinel, we're dead. Bummer. I was punished a little bit for clicking too fast through the hammer, my own fault. So we definitely want these Void Snares. I don't love Force of Negation here. I do think the 1 pact is fine because we know that they have Spell Pierce. I think I'm just going to submit this. On the play for game number 2, so we're going to reveal our companion, Lurrus of the Dream Den. Pop out these graveyards and then the 2 Lurrus in a second. Alright, it looks like we've opened up a pretty strong hand here. We're definitely going to keep this. This is one of those hands where you're just trying to get to 10 cards in graveyard, so that way you can wish win with that 1 card combo-esque win. Alright, let's bobble them. Alright, they have a drum on top. Now we're going to fall to 17 life and cast Inquisition. So they already have a drum. I think you're supposed to take the Pure Steel. Because there's more ways of getting Hammer in the deck than there is to of ways of equipping, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. They played the first drum. And Ginger Brute, sure. Draw. And that's another Twiddle, that's good. So now we just need more cards in graveyard. The other drum. That's the Stoneforge. All right, so I don't know their last card. I'm just going to fetch here. Go grab the other Watery Grave. We have 4, 5, 6. Yeah, unless I draw a Dreamscript, I'm short on cards. Draw. I think that might actually have done it, because now I don't have to Escape Wish twice. So let's sacrifice these. This brings me up to 6. Yeah, this wins. Okay, so now we Dreamscript again, untap. 6 mana Wish. Play the Underworld Breach. Now we Twiddle. Okay. Yes. And now we show them the Scour from hand. Alright, so that is going to be game number 2. Our opponent did me a favor here, save me some clicks. And we are off to game number 3 versus Blue-White Hammer time. I don't think I need to do anything. I'm just going to hit Cement here. Reveal Lurrus of the Dream Den, pop out these graveyards. What am I doing? What am I doing? Alright, everything is set up. This hand's really good. We're going to keep this. Our opponent takes a mulligan to 6. Turn 1 Saga. That means that they should be able to find a piece of graveyard hate before we can combo it on turn 3. Another Lotus Field is not really what the doctor ordered, if I'm being honest. Let's Inquisition. So guard is Aid versus Stoneforge. I think you're supposed to take the Aid because they already have a bunch of ways of getting Hammer. And there's the Stoneforge Mystic. And Colossus Hammer. Draw. Alright, I'm going to go to 16. Play Wish Claw and pass the turn. Ooh, they drew Spell Pierce. Okay. That actually doesn't make that big of an impact in my opinion. Making a construct. I imagine they're gonna go get like what's it called? Soul Guide Lantern here. Ginger Brew, okay. No Soul Guide, that's kind of shocking. Draw. Bobble. I suppose I could have cast the Otherworldly Gaze in my upkeep. Consider. I can go to the bin. Of course, it's Lotus number 3. Otherworldly Gaze. Don't really need any of these. Let's bin them. Sacrifice these and pray that we draw Twiddle. Or Outfitter. We drew Twiddle. What an amazing draw. Alright, so we know that they have Outfitter and Hammer in hand. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I am dead. That is lethal. That's how math works. Ah, so we were a turn too slow. We had the win on our turn, but we didn't get a turn 4. Unfortunately, we're 1-1. I did what I could there. Even if I had played Otherworldly Gaze in the upkeep, we were just a turn too slow. It happens. Nothing to be upset about. And we are on to match number 3. Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm Mini Token Pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grapeshot, everyone's favorite Stormwind condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, Ave Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in Paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice. We've got you covered. make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop. Round number 3, we're on the draw. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep this or not. It's sort of asking a lot. I think maybe we're better off just taking a mulligan. You don't need 3 Twiddles, double cantrip looking for land number 2, and you don't have any combo piece. Like, this hand is just like one of those hands where you keep and then you spin your wheels for a long time and eventually lose the game. Let's ship it. Better. I think we're just going to bottom the Pact to Negation here. Flooded Strand, okay. Polluted Delta and pass the turn. It looks like they're on the 4-color blink deck if I had to guess. Grab the basic and just play Consider. We'll keep that around. Alright, go to 17, and because we drew the extra Wish Claw, I'm just going to jam one of them here. If it gets countered, it's not the end of the world. And it resolves, okay. Is it Teferi? It is. Alright, Wish Claw is back in our hand. Draw again. Wish Claw Talisman. And Otherworldly Gaze. I think we can just bottom these, or we'll bin them. We don't really need those cards. Teferi goes up. Draw. Let's Inquisition them, see what they're working with. Take the counterspell. And flashback the Otherworldly Gaze. I imagine they're just going to flash in the Planeswalker here. Do I keep Twiddle? Yeah, I think so. Pass the turn. And there's the Wandering Emperor. Ouch. We're going to 13. And Big Taff. It's worth noting they didn't tuck our claw. That's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I can't punish them by trying to win here. We could go get Lotus Field, but I just don't have an Underworld Breach. Wish Claw. Otherworldly Gaze. There's the Breach. Keep that on top. Okay, so they plussed. Now we take 5 down to 8. We have to find a way of beating either Archmage's Charm or Otawara. Technically, they could Otawara and Archmage's Charm if they Otawara right now. Okay. I think I'm going to try to buy some time here and bounce the Samurai tokens, see if they'll counter. They did not. Alright, I'm just going to take the chance that they don't have anything to punish me with this Wish Claw. And pass the turn. Fire puts me to 6. Okay. So they would have had lethal. And they bounce my claw. They played Otawara. Exactly enough for Hall of the Storm Giants. That'll do. I guess they didn't even need the Fire Ice. They just had it. Bummer. Okay, so I definitely want the packs. I wonder if this is a matchup where I should try the empty plan. Board out these forces. Still 2 cards over. Maybe trim 2 Otherworldly Gaze because this isn't a speed-based matchup. I don't think I hate that. Game number 2. Reveal our combo cat. Alright, let's try it out. Opponent takes a mulligan to 6. Fetch. Ouch. Let's pop that Lurrus out and consider looking for land number 2. I'm going to keep Lotus Field. I know it's not the land we wanted, but it seems pretty good. Alright, upkeep. Let's try to find land 2 here. And then I will keep both of those. Draw. We should be able to empty on our next turn. Okay, 2 mana. Chalice. Yep, I knew that was a possibility. So I'm going to fetch away the Twiddle here. Steam Vents. Draw. Play Wishclaw. Play the Lotus Field. Pass the turn. Draw. It's just not worth trying to play empty for 1 storm, or honestly even 2, but we'll see what we can do. Maybe I should have put Lurrus to my hand there, instead of trying to represent strength. Rest in peace, okay. Yeah, maybe I should just be playing the combo cat. Draw. Alright, let's play Lurrus. Or get Lurrus, I mean. Chalice and Rest in Peace is tough. We do have the empty, so we have a plan, a long-term plan. Sure, you can have a Teferi. Alright, I'm gonna fetch now. And I don't have a red source to get, which is worth noting. Alright, draw. I could empty for 6. I think I'm just going to try to play Lurrus first. I'd like to potentially draw another land before I jam the empty. Like 8 goblins is just so much better than 6, especially when they're at 16. 2 mana Fire Ice. Yep. Castle Vantress, sure. Ooh, Bobble was good. Let's attempt to twiddle our Lotus Field. Alright, Bobble. Bobble. And empty for 8. They're at 16, so we just have to hope that this is good enough. Let's turn off auto yields. My bad. I forgot that I can use Bobble here to cantrip. See what they left on top. Charm. Land. Okay. I guess I can't Pact the Negation because they're Teferi. Otawara is interesting. They draw 2 with the Archmage's Charm. Another Teferi. This is going to buy them a full turn. Draw another Wishclaw Talisman. Let's get in there. So they're going to fall to 9 life. And we, on their turn, I mean, I'm sorry. Let's say they were to play something that was absolutely devastating. I can use Otawara to bounce the Teferi and then pact whatever the crucial spell is. And our opponent concedes, so empty gets game number 2 through Chalice. Rest in Peace Teferi. That was fairly strong. Alright, I liked that. Let's just resubmit. Game 3, we've opened up empty. This hand, I'm worried it's just not good enough, but 4 lands is somewhat helpful. I think I'm going to try it. Opponent takes a mulligan to 5, and now down to 4. Well, this empty's looking a little bit better. Alright, we did not want to draw land. That stunk. Triome, sure. You have a Chalice. Alright. So I think we're back on the Lurrus plan, at least for now. Another Dreamscript draw, sure. Pass the turn. Not ideal, that's for sure. That's a rest in peace. Pretty good mulligan to 4, I have to say. We're going to put Lurrus to our hand next turn. There's our Otawara. That was actually a pretty good draw. Alright, Lurrus to hand. I have to move to cleanup. I think I'm just going to discard Pact. I don't see myself actually using this Pact to negation. They have 1 card. So on their end step, I'm going to Otawara, bounce the Chalice, and then untap an empty. That doesn't matter. That's fine. Alright, so this Flooded Strand gets the Steam Vents, which is our last fetchable. Okay, so we're going to go to 14, and then Otawara bouncing the Chalice. Get it out of here. Draw. We'll start off by playing this Bauble. Dreamscript to untap our land. Dreamscript, untap our land. Scour you. And then empty for 10. No Lotus Field needed. So they had Counterspell, sure. 8's still a 3-turn clock, I'll take it. They have Chalice of the Void and 1 unknown. Ragavan, okay. We'll just play the Lurrus here. Alright, so they're taking 11. If they attack, I have lethal, so they're going to do it. They're going for the big game. I technically have an Echoing Truth that would wreck my day, so I think I'm supposed to block. Because what if they hit the Echoing Truth, right? Like, I would just feel so terrible. Colonnade, sure. Draw. Well, would have been a Misty. That has no targets in my deck, so I don't know why I'm playing it, but now they go to 3. Empty the Warren's too strong. Both post-board games won by the Goblin Army. Woot woot. And we are 2-1. So let's head on over to match number 4, see if we can squeak out another sweet win versus the Hate Pieces. Hey, you're still watching. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to make a purchase from Card Hoarder, TCG Player, or Amazon and are looking to support us, you can open up our description down below, and in there you will find our affiliate links. Those same links are found on the homepage of the Epic Storm. But that's not all. We've included a Card Hoarder button on our website that will load the Epic Storm in your Card Hoarder cart to make life simple for you. Round 4 of 5, we have a pair of Lurrus staring at each other in the face. We have an interesting hand here. I think that this is most likely a keep. Alright. What are you playing, Lurrus? Alright, so likely Jund if I had a guess. Yep. And that's a channeler, sure. Draw. Okay, so let's bobble ourselves. I know that our opponent's playing black cards, but I want to be able to cast this Consider. I'll keep that there. Speed ends up being pretty important in these matchups, and you can't just time lock yourself because you're afraid of discard. Alright, so draw the Claw, and now our opponent gets to cast the spells with Dragon Rage Channeler. Alright, I'm just going to let this resolve. There's no point in me casting Consider first. And they milled a Saga, so they're definitely on Jund. There's a chance that they could have been Death Shadow with the Verdant, but this just is definitely Jund after seeing the Saga. Claw down, yep. They have 3 of the 4 types for the Dragon Rage Channeler Delirium. Urza Saga is an enchantment. Don't forget about that. And another Urza Saga. Okay, so... Ooh, they have the main deck Spellbomb in hand? I don't like that. That's not fair. Wow. What a hand. We're in trouble. Okay. I don't like this. Draw. Consider. They can go to the bin. Geez, another land. Okay. Urza Saga moves up to 2. And I'm taking 3, going to 13. Draw. Imagine they don't have anything in hand, but let's cast Inquisition. None of these cards really matter. Alright, so they get to make a construct token. You got it. And they're making another token and then searching their library for a 1 mana. I guess I'm supposed to fetch in response here in case they get Needle. Bobble, okay. And another Bobble. So I need a series of things to go right to win this game. First, I need them to not sacrifice the Spellbomb. That's step number 1, which is a very tall ask. And then I need to draw Underworld Breach. Okay, step 1. So now if I rip Breach, I think we have it. Alright, taking 8. Come on, deck. Please give me Underworld Breach. Draw. Killing me. Give me the Breach. That is not Underworld Breach. Think I'm just dead? Yeah. Alright, next game. Okay, so this is definitely a matchup where I'm interested in having a bunch of empties, so we're going to board these in. Get rid of our Pact Negation and these Force Negations, bring in Void Snares. Alright, so we're at 62. I think we can afford to shave a few copies of discard spells. They're not amazing in this matchup anyway. And let's try this out. In game number 2. Here we have double Lotus Field, but we're not allowed to keep that, unfortunately. Okay, this is a reasonable hand. We're going to keep this and bottom a single copy of Lotus Field. Play Otawara and pass. Stomping Ground, okay. Probably Ragavan. Yep. Play this Consider. That can go to the bin. Empty the Warrens. Welcome. So now we want to draw Twiddles. We want to draw running Twiddles. That's the best thing we can do. Alright, well that was also very good. I would still like to draw a Twiddle. Okay, let's play the Wish Claw and pass. Alright, Ragavan hits us, we fall to 15. Empty the Warrens. You can't cast that. There's a Saga. You kids and your spell bombs. I don't like it. Pyrite spell bomb, sure. Draw. There's Twiddle. Alright, so we're gonna play Lotus Field. Let's consider. Want to hit another Twiddle. Island. So I can play empty, but I have to give them a Wish Claw. So it's not that great. I think I'm supposed to just pass here. Ideally, we would draw a Dream's Grip for turn, and then I could tap Lotus, tap the Spellbomb and untap Lotus Field. So now we're gonna get hit down to 13 life. Gotta be kidding me. We only left 2 of them in the deck. Ah, hate Ragavan. It's just crippling right there. They left us with the Twiddle. It's interesting. They must not be afraid of empty. Or they just have double discard. Yep. I don't think we're winning this one. Just a heads up. Mishra's Bobble. Draw. They're going to use their Bobble. Our own Bobble, so we get to make 4 whole goblins. Wow. I'm just going to empty. Pass the turn. And a large construct token. Yep. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got a needle here named Wishclaw. Shadow Spear that does beat goblin tokens. Chump. Alright, let's target them with Bobble. Alright, draw off Bobble. Draw for turn. That actually wasn't too bad. So we can Dreamscript, Entwine, tap, untap. Get them to sacrifice the spell bomb. And there goes our graveyard. Okay, so now we can gaze. We don't need any of these. And then just pass the turn on their end step, we'll flash it back. We might actually pull this one out depending on what the Otherworldly Gaze finds. Another Saga, sure. That doesn't matter at this point. 2 mana, what is this? Equip, sure. Alright, we'll throw some in the way here. Alright, they have 3 cards in hand. It's their end step. We're going to flash back the Otherworldly Gaze now. Come on, deck. Be good to me. So we can bin these. Do I want to take the Dreams Grip? Grip into... So if I bin the grip, does that change anything? So if I draw it, I can make 6 mana, which I don't think it actually matters that much, except for Stormgaunt for the empty. But I don't know if that's what I want to be doing anyway. So I don't think there's a way for us to win by doing like multiple Wishclaw tricks. Because if I activate Wishclaw, untap Wishclaw, activate Wishclaw, I'd only have the island left over, so it doesn't actually accomplish anything. And the empty is just a stall line, and then I end up giving them a Wishclaw. So I think I'm actually supposed to bin this and pray to draw Breach or Scour. Both of those could possibly win. If I keep this, I can go get Underworld Breach and end up emptying for like, I don't know, 10. But 10 goblins doesn't beat Shadow Spear with a construct. So I think we're supposed to bottom or mill the Dreamscript here. Alright, deck, please give me Underworld Breach. Thank you. Alright, so this should do it. Untap the Breach, or untap the Lotus Field, I mean. Activate Wishclaw. And now we go get the Tome Scour. And that'll do. Dreamscript to untap Lotus Field. I think our opponent's going to make us click through it, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. Alright. Escape. It's from 6. Twiddle, untap the Lotus Field. And our opponent just conceded. All right, so we stole game number 2, and honestly, we only won this game because of the Empty the Warren, so that was pretty sweet. Nice grindy game there. I think I'm just going to resubmit. The empties have impressed me so far tonight. Like, I know that we lost the one match against Hammer, but even that was a really good match. Like, you can't be upset when you lose good games in a tough matchup. Well, I shouldn't say Hammer's a tough matchup. It's pretty much a coin flip. But, like, that was a really good set of games. And here we're facing, you know, a deck that's, you know, very, very disruptive. We faced a control deck with double Chalice and Rest in Peace, and Lurrus Lotus Breach is keeping up. I can't say that for a lot of the other decks that we play here on this channel. I think this deck's the real deal. All right, reveal our Lurrus. Keep. This is the sort of hand where on turn 2, if we had an empty in the board, we're really close to turn 2 empty. So it'd be untap, tap. All right, we're just going to keep it, but 3, 5, 7. Yeah, if we had an empty in the board, this is a turn 2 empty for 12. Stomping Ground, probably playing Ragavan. There it is. Draw. Okay, I like that. Let's play Bobble here. Look at our top card. I don't really want to give them that, so I think I'm going to fetch. Grab an island. And Bobble. I probably shouldn't have done that, actually. Well, that worked out, because now I'm drawing an empty. Alright, so we get 2 draws. I might do a turn 2 empty. Alright, so we're going to fall to 17. They had a Misty. Come on, no whammies here. Just like play a Tarmogoyf or something. Channeler. Saga. Well, I can't empty now, that stinks. They showed their hand, or else I would have just gotten blown out by that. 3 cards left. Draw. Like, I think I'm supposed to Void Snare something now because I have a win next turn. So I think I'm supposed to, like, bounce the Ragavan so that way they spend more mana on their turn. And you don't want to bounce the EE, you don't want to give them triggers. Dash the Ragavan, sure. Alright, so they're going to have 3 mana. 14. That's a bummer. So they're going to get my Breach here. We might still be able to win, even if they take the Breach. So that's... Misty's going to be 6. The 2 lands are going to be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we might still have it here unless they have another discard spell. Consider. Oh, they have the Soul Guide? Oh! These hits. They just keep on coming. Wow. And they have the EE for empty and then the Soul Guide. I'm gonna fetch the Thin. That was brutal. Draw. That's Inquisition. I don't know how I'm supposed to win this now. And they're about to get a spell bomb off the Saga. Looks like they're activating the Saga here for a construct. When Saga hits the graveyard, they will have Delirium. So we're going to be at 10 life. I just don't know how I'm supposed to beat this. Ave, actually. If I draw another Twiddle, we could Ave. Oh, come on. Wow. The fourth hate piece. That's what did it. Oh, geez. You got me. Draw. So hypothetically, let's say they didn't play the Alpine Moon. We would go 3, 5, 7, 8. We would have had 4 ooze this turn, which might have been enough. Maybe not, but it at least would have bought some time. But now we're just dead because we can't beat all this. So we're facing a lot of hate tonight, that's for sure. But the empty planes seemed good. Our opponent had the E here. Can't beat them all. But that was another good match. I mean, we almost beat triple hate piece, but the fourth one got us. So we're 2-2. Let's just try to finish strong and get match number 5. If you're looking for more great Magic the Gathering content, definitely check out the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, a lot of what we talk about transcends all formats. We're available on all major podcast platforms. The 5th and final match, our opponent is a fellow Lurrus dueler. We're on the play and I'm going to keep this hand. Flooded Strand and pass the turn. Marsh Flats, okay. Not quite sure what they're up to yet. Is this just hammer time? It is just hammer time. So we're going to get a chance at redemption for losing to X-Whale earlier and see if we can beat hammer time this time. Consider, we don't really need that land. We're going to mill that. But we got to land anyway. Memnite, sure. Draw. Otawara, not really what the doctor ordered. Alright, grab our island and play Witchclaw. No, I'm not going to pay for your Esper Sentinel. Pass the turn. Another Sentinel, sure. Ink Moth, and I imagine we're going to take some damage here. That's a hammer. Which I think means that they probably have like a Paladin in hand or something. Draw. I think we just pass here. Cast Consider on their end step. Okay. Taking 3, going to 11. Lurrus to hand. Okay. Running out of time. Cast the Consider. There is some thought here on if you're not supposed to pay. Because like if you consider into another Consider or an otherworldly gaze, you would like to be able to cast them. But I think we're not guaranteed to be dead, especially when our opponent just put Lurrus to hand. So I think I'm going to pay for these. Obviously, I'm going to get punished, but let's see what we find. Consider. Well, I'm not going to bend that one because I think that one just wins the game. All right, draw. Let's go get that Lotus Field. Float a blue. All right, Lotus Field. And then untap the Lotus Field. Play Underworld Breach. We will use that red that's floating in just a second. Dream's Grip to untap the Lotus Field. And another Dream's Grip to untap Lotus Field. Play Wish. And then Tome Scour. And our opponent conceded. So that's game number 1 over hammer time. So I don't think we want the Force Negations, as I mentioned earlier. I do want the Void Snares. Something you could do is board in Grapeshot, because it's another card that kills all their small creatures with like Mishra's Baubles and stuff, you can just like wipe their board on turn 2. But is that better than having like Pact Negation for their Spell Pierce or an Inquisition? I'm not sure. I guess it's probably like fine to swap with one Inquisition. Let's try this out. All right, revealing our Cat Companion. I think this hand's a little too clunky and that we're supposed to ship this. Take a mulligan. A little bit better. Keep in, let's bottom the Consider. So it's going to be turn 1 Bauble Inquisition, turn 2 Wishclaw, turn 3 Breach, attempt to win the game. That's the game plan. Interesting. They're on the Black Splash. So I was supposed to board out Pact Negation. I guess I didn't see the color splashes in game 1. Very strong start for the opponent. Drew another Consider anyway. Let's just play right into it. Bauble. Nope. Bauble you. Thoughtseize, that's a pain. Inquisition. That's also a pain. Might as well take the Sigarda's 8, I guess. Makes it more difficult for them to cast. Saga. Another Springleaf Drum. Pure Steel, and then the Thoughtseize. Probably taking the Wishclaw if I had to guess. Just stop me from getting Lotus. I mean, they could take the Breach, who knows? And they chose Wishclaw, which I think is the correct choice. Draw. Alright, so I am not going to cast the Considers on my turn. I'm going to do it on their end step, so that way I don't have to pay the tax and they can't use the cards. But off these Considers, I need to hit a Lotus Field. A third Esper Sentinel. Wait, I thought they already had 2 in play. Am I going insane? Maybe that was just game 1. Sorry, it's almost 10 p.m. already, so I'm getting a little bit tired. Okay, so we're going to go to 12 and need to find Lotus Field. Consider. Maybe I was supposed to get the Steam Vents there. That probably would have been slightly better, so that's a small misplay. Consider. Well, that was amazing. Let's keep that. Consider again. Alright, well, 1 was enough. Wow. Why don't we have it all then the night? And another Twiddle. You're too kind. Alright, Twiddle untap. My opponent's going to be very angry when they see this. Okay. Yes. Untap. Add red. Play the Breach. That they knew that we had it, and then Scour for the win. Alright, so we just have to go through the motions. And they conceded. Alright, so 3-2 is not bad. We had a number of very difficult matchups tonight, and I honestly think 3-2 is pretty good for what we faced. I'm not too angry about that. The Empty the Warrens plan really overperformed in my opinion. We didn't really get to see Otawara, which is sort of a bummer. I do wonder if this Ave should just be a 4th empty. That said, in the Jund matchup, it wasn't out where opponent had EE, so I don't know if I like or dislike this split, but it certainly gave me options, and I thought that was the real benefit there. Tell me what you think of this list. I'm not just saying this, but like we played the deterministic Twiddle Storm deck the other day, the stacked Twiddle deck, and I don't know if it would have beaten the matchups we faced tonight with this deck. Like Lurrus Lotus Breach really powered through the hate tonight. I know 3-2 isn't impressive, but when you consider all of the graveyard hate and chalices and everything else we faced, it impressed me. So let me know what you think. I'm always willing to hear that. or if you have any ideas on how to make it better. I also really enjoy reading those. So thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far, and enjoy the rest of your day. Keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.